Hello, it's Polish Pol VR, welcome back to the channel. We are here today to do some more PlayStation VR2 news, and what a week for PSVR2 we having. We've got some seriously exciting updates straight from Sony that prove their commitment to the headset is stronger than ever. New job listings are hinting at big internal projects, and a bunch of studios are gearing up for what looks like the next wave of PSVR2 games. And if that's not enough, there is also even more game announcements rolling in after that amazing PSVR2 Day showcase, which showcased some seriously gorgeous PSVR2 games. But it's not all good news, because just when things were looking bright for PSVR2, here comes the shovelware storms, and holy shit. They rolling in thick and fast. Some of those games are so bad they are almost impressive. It's hard to describe how stinky those turds are. You just got to have to see it to actually believe it, if that they actually being made. If you're watching this video on toilet, don't be shy. Just look down, take a good look at your shit you just made. Because this shit of yours looks so much better than some games I will talk about today. But before I start, make sure you hit like and subscribe, it really helps me stay relevant in the algorithm, but also it keeps this channel growing. Plus you will never miss the latest PSVR2 news, game updates, and also some occasional ultra diarrhea in a VR game form. But anyway, let's go. First of all, we got some fresh news from awesome and talented team at Resolution Games and Wizards of the Coast. Demeo meets Dungeons and Dragons Battlemark isn't just launching with one adventure, but two full campaigns when it drops later this month. Alongside Embers of Chaos, the newly revealed Book 2, Crown of Frost, takes players deep into the frozen north of Forgotten Realms. Through Icewind Dale, I remember that one on PC back in early 2000s, I think, but anyway. 10 towns and even the spine of the world. Expect to face dire wolves, goblins, kobolds, and wait, kobolds? I forgot how to say it, but anyway, and even frost giants, icy battlefields that feel alive with lore and atmosphere. Narrative designer Matt Cernet, who previously worked at Wizards of the Coast, says the setting itself acts as a character, a cold, dangerous world that contrasts beautifully with the warmer regions seen in the first campaign. Both stories together promise over 12 hours of gameplay at launch, and Resolution Games has already teased more campaigns coming later as a DLC, including something strangely and intriguingly titled Mushroom Hollow. Demeo and Dungeons and Dragons Battlemarks releases on 20th of November for PSVR2, Quest, PC VR, PS5 and PC for $29.99. Now, get ready to cook up chaos on the Red Planet, because Mars Kitchen is officially coming to PSVR2. Previously released this summer on Quest, this cooking simulator takes you straight to Mars, where you'll be running intergalactic restaurants for hungry aliens. From sushi bars and pizzerias, papa pipi papa, I'm turning Italian now, to food trucks and even a Martian version of Starbucks called, surprise surprise, Earthbooks. You're gonna juggle orders, explore 6 different environments and serve up cosmic cuisine in true VR style. But this isn't your typical tidy kitchen simulator. Mars Kitchen lets you go wild, smash plates, throw ingredients, or if you really want you can keep it clean. It's completely up to you. Along the way you will face up to over 100 quests, tons of recipes and bunch of weird and wonderful minigames like slicing flying fruit or shooting pizzas at targets. Expect plenty of surprises too, from zero gravity sections to alien invasions and even mysterious villain called Fazar. And no, this is not one of those shit games I was talking about earlier. If you think this one might look bad, then just wait. Actually, let me give you a tease of what's to come. Stunt Scooter Simulator VR is now available to wishlist on the PlayStation Store for PSVR2. And yes, this is the same Stunt Scooter Simulator you never heard of, but that already exists as a flat version. We speed off on flat games here, big speeds. And actually it's currently rocking a glorious 1-star rating. Awesome. According to the official description, this is the ultimate freestyle experience where adrenaline meets precision. You grab your scooter, drop into skate parks and pull off impossible tricks in stunning virtual reality. But well, we're gonna have to see about that one. It promises realistic scooter physics, customization, multiple game modes and even detailed urban environments. But since there barely any footage available, I managed to dig up this tiny clip from the flat version, you can see in the background. So yeah, cannot wait to not play it, but anyway, it's out there ready to be wishlisted if you're feeling brave. Anyway, let's speak about something good, as there is more trash to come later, but for now, Richie's Plank Experience is officially landing on PSVR2 on 20th of November, confirmed via PlayStation Store listing. Developed by Toast Interactive, this will be the definitive version of long-running VR hit, rebuilt for PlayStation 5 and taking full advantage of PSVR2 power. Expect improved visuals, smoother tracking and haptic feedback through the Sense controllers, all combining to make this first step of the plank feel even more real and terrifying. If you never played it, Richie's Plank Experience is simple but unforgettable concept. You ride an elevator up to the top of a skyscraper. You step onto a thin wooden plank, hanging hundreds of feet above the city, and you just try not to fall. It's short but incredibly effective. A perfect demo for showing friends what VR can really do to your brain. Fun fact, if you show this game to anyone over 50 years of age, they will just jump headfirst into the wall in real life. Anyway, Sony released the official list of top 10 most downloaded PlayStation VR2 game for October. And there is a clear winner in both regions, Max Mustard from the same developer behind Richie's Plank Experience. It grabbed the #1 spot in both the US, Canada and EU charts, and it's most likely because it was a pretty heavy discount on this game during October. Following that, we've got big hitters like Beat Saber, which if you don't own, don't even bother buying because Meta ended support for it back in summer. But also you've got the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, Metro Awakening and Job Simulator still doing solid numbers, so not many surprises here. But here is the part that hurts a little. Remember that scooter simulator I just called shovelware? Well, it turns out that Grand Rouge VR Highway Car Traffic Racing Simulator somehow raced its way into the US top 10. Yes, it is true, it is right, and I am slowly losing hope. I feel like when Richie's Plank Experience releases, I will put my headset and I will jump headfirst into the wall, just to break my neck and die. Meanwhile, over in Europe, Pavlov rounds up the list, which at least restores a bit of dignity to those ratings. So yeah, Max Mustard wins October, shovelware sadly sneaks into the charts, and somewhere out there is plenty of PSVR2 owners apparently dodging traffic in a straight line. But anyways, speaking about the quality of racing experiences, if Grand Rouge VR Highway Car Traffic Racing Simulator wasn't enough for you, don't worry, the shovelware gods have blessed us once more. There is a brand new one, ready to be wishlisted right now, called Highway Legends Traffic Speed Racer VR, or maybe Speed Legend Traffic Highway VR. I don't even know anymore myself. They all sound like someone just mashed random words and just put it to generator and hit upload. But according to the store description, it lets you experience high-speed racing like never before, which, judging by the last one, probably means 30 frames per second reprojected at 640 by 480 resolution, recycled assets and physics that could make Wipeout cry. The only wipeout I'm seeing here is my last remaining bracers disappearing. Just by talking about this, I won't even call it shit, it's super shit. It's like when someone dies and their body releases all the bodily fluids. That's what those games are, dead fluids of a rotten shit, let's call it as it is. Anyway, you apparently tilt, lean and maneuver through traffic in a pulse-pounding, hyper-realistic world. So, if you're into budget traffic nightmares and want more of this true Grand Rouge speed car highway racing experience, this is one already up and waiting for you to be wishlisted. Strap in, lean slightly left and prepare to regret everything. This one coming this December. Speaking about cars and PlayStation VR2, why don't we stop at traffic if we make this shovelware circus even bigger? Introducing Truck Simulator 25 Eurodriver VR, coming December 23rd, because clearly what PSVR2 needs right now was another ultimate VR driving experience. According to the official description, you live the journey and you feel the power and precision of realistic trucks across iconic Europe roads, because of course highways, countryside and probably a few invisible walls for the authentic next-gen experience. You can even customize your truck, complete challenges, cargo missions and build your freight empire, because nothing screams Christmas spirit like hauling a pallets through the low-poly Germany in virtual reality. It's proudly released sitting and standing playstyle, which is good, because you only need to stand up halfway through just to remember what real movement actually feels like. So mark your calendars, truck fans, Truck Simulator 2025 Eurodriver VR rolls out this December. If you want to ruin somebody's Christmas, then feel free to give them this so-called game. Right, anyway, as hard as it is to talk about this shovelware without vomiting, big vom, bleh. At least legit studios like Toast Interactive are doing well, and Richie's Prank Experience is coming to PSVR2 this month, so I am happy. And this cult classic that I just spoke about actually earned its spot in VR history. But wait a second. What is this? What the fuck is going on here? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Plank VR Edge Walk Simulator. A fucking edge walk? Yes, someone looked at Richie's Plank Experience, one of the most recognizable VR games ever made, and said, you know what this industry needs? The exact same thing, but worse. According to the store description, this is the ultimate test of courage and balance, where your mind knows it's a game, but your body refuses to believe it. You can walk on wooden beams, glass walkways, and moving poles. Wait, I am a pole. What they saying about me here? Anyway, this is an innovation. Next-gen VR technology right here in this game simulates walking straight. It even boasts ultra-realistic visuals and dynamic environments, which probably means random city textures copied and pasted from a free Unity or Unreal pack. Anyway, moving on. As I talk about those so-called games, I feel like my brain is rotting away, so I'm glad it's over. Surely it can't get any worse. Right? Wait. What is this? Brainrot Sakur VR. What? Apparently, in this action-oriented project, you play as a hero, fighting waves of fictional creatures. There are 5 unique maps. Each offers a separate survival challenge, which translates to the same enemies copy-pasted 5 times with probably different skyboxes. Your goal? Eliminate all enemies on the map within a limited time, which probably is going to be about 5 minutes before you uninstall this game. They proudly describe it as dynamic combat, filled with tension and constant threat. I can already feel the tension, mainly from trying to figure out why this game even exists, and honestly the only brain rot happening here is the one I'm experiencing reading this description. This might actually be the first game that names itself after the medical condition it causes. So yeah, Brainrot Sakur VR, coming soon to PlayStation VR2, and to my list of reasons why therapy should be free. I would rather had my wife peg me with a rabies-infested angry hedgehog than play this, well, any of those games. But anyway, let's just talk about something good now. Moving on, because yet again, we've got proof that Sony is still supporting and will support PSVR2 in the future. Let's talk about something interesting that's been quietly ongoing behind the scenes at PlayStation. Sony's Advanced Technology Group, also known as ATG, has been hiring for a machine learning engineer for game technology, and the job description explicitly mentions runtime tracking for PlayStation VR2 Sense controllers. Now, what does that mean? ATG is the internal team at PlayStation that works on the deep tech that game studios use. Stuff like character animation systems, motion capture, rendering research, and platform level tools. They don't make games themselves, but they build the underlying tech that every studio depends on. This particular role focuses on improving how the PSVR2 controls are tracked in real time. So we're talking here about lower latency, more stable positional tracking, better prediction when the controllers get close to your body or move fast, and potentially more precise hand movement and detection in the future updates for the games. So this job listing has been active multiple times across 2023-24 and into 2025 now as well, meaning it's not a short-term project, it's a long-term ongoing work. Sony is continuing to refine the core tracking tech that PSVR2 runs on. So what is all this means for PlayStation VR2? Even though we don't always hear big announcements, there are still active platform development happening. This is the kind of work that makes games feel smoother and more immersive, even without flashy patches and patch notes. If you ever experience tracking jittering, occlusion when your controller goes behind your back, for example, or slight latency during fast motion, this is the kind of research that addresses those issues. It also signals something very important. Sony is still investing in virtual reality at the foundation level engineering level. So, this is not maintenance mode, this is ongoing research and development, which only makes sense if PSVR2 is part of PlayStation's planned future. Whether that means better performance today, future headset compatibility, or cross-platform PC VR support improvements since it's got the adapter. So, while the public messaging around PSVR2 can be quiet at times, the internal engineering work tells us a different story. The tech stack is still evolving, the tracking system is still being improved, and PlayStation is still building forward, even if it's happening behind the curtain. And that leads me into another story, and this is coming from Guerrilla Games themselves. The PlayStation studio behind Horizon currently has active user research internship listed for their Amsterdam studio. It's a small detail, but it stands out. The role specifically lists experience with eye tracking tool as a desirable skill. If you follow VR, you know what that means. PlayStation VR2 includes built-in eye tracking for gaze-based interactions and for weighted rendering. So when a first-party PlayStation studio highlights eye tracking in its user testing pipeline, it strongly suggests that gaze data is still actively used during player research and playtesting. Now, to be clear, this does not confirm a new PSVR2 game or headset or even new Horizon VR sequel. It is user research teams work across many prototypes and design spaces. So, this is another signal that Sony's first-party research labs are still investing time in eye tracking workflows, which lines up directly with PSVR2 hardware compatibilities. So while this isn't a big front page announcement, it's a healthy sign. PlayStation VR2 level tech is still in the day-to-day testing environment inside PlayStation Studios. So note from me, basically the future looks bright. And that's it for today, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video, let me know what you think about some of those shitty games that gracing us very soon, and of course if you like what you're seeing then please press a like because it does help the channel a lot, and if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe, it's always better when it's more of us, and that's it, bye 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 bye.